Good morning, it's Real Estate Kate here, and I would like to welcome Leanne. So Leanne and I went to school together in Maryborough quite a few years ago, just yesterday really. But we caught up last week and I wanted to sit down and have a chat with Leanne about what it is now coming back to the area that you notice about how amazing it is, but also what you've taken away and what you will take away back to where you're going back to.
Good questions, Kate. I like that you use the word area. It's just not one part of this region that's really quite beautiful. And I think actually getting in your car and driving around different little spots, it really opens your eyes when you've returned, because you're looking at things with brand new eyes. Places that we would drive as a little family on a Sunday afternoon, all of a sudden have a new energy about them, because you notice old trees that have suddenly, you know, changed and grown huge, or maybe they've died and you've got the big vibrant blue sky behind it. It's all sorts of small things.
So Leanne, did you grow up in Maryborough or whereabouts? I know, but you know, whereabouts?
I grew up in Timor, Bowen Vale, you know, double barrel name there, but you know.
And population is about?
Quite small, actually.
20?
Yeah, it was a small, and I went to school out there as well. And actually when I started school, I think there was something like 18 of us in my first year of primary school. And I compare that now to just, you know, education, the way education grows and changes. Those small schools are actually a wonderful commodity in themselves, and perhaps that's a good draw card for people that are moving to the area too.
I think the smaller numbers, it's about the nurturing and the educating, and not just as being taught, but they're involved in the community.
Yeah, it's as if you're interwoven into something quite special. It's a lovely memory to take with you once you've left, and maybe come back again, or maybe if you stay here, it's actually, you know, that part of things is almost irrelevant because everyone has to write their own story, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So sometimes it's about finding what suits you best. And for me, it was great to be actually able to get on a plane and go do things, but it's really important to remember where you're from.
Yeah.
Very important.
So Leanne, you grew up in the Timor Bowen Vale, went to school at Timor Primary,
Yes.
then in Maryborough. And when we talk about our schools in Maryborough, they're no longer here, the Tech and the High, because they've changed into aged care and the Shire offices now. But you left town, so you went to university
In
out of
Ballarat.
town.
Yeah.
And then you went even further.
Yeah. After I'd finished at Maryborough Tech, which was actually a really good, positive experience, thanks to some really key people actually that live here still. Some of these teachers were phenomenal. They really were, and they encouraged growth. And if that's what you want, so I went from here, went to Ballarat, and then I went to New Zealand and taught there actually. And then from there, I taught in the UK as well for about 9 years there, and now I'm in the United Arab Emirates,
It's just next door, really.
Yeah,
It's
about
next
an
door.
hour out of Dubai.
So I have to interrupt there, Leanne, because last week when we were having coffee, you said, "Oh yeah, it's just a small place," and I said, "Oh, small as in, you know, like small population where you are is."
About 400,000. So
Yeah.
mentally for me, it's a smaller place compared to other large cities.
So yeah, a little bit different in sizing that we're talking about.
Yeah. It's a very interesting place though, because I think again, for example, my son goes to a British school there, but there's something like 19 different nationalities represented, and I think that's been he's a very global citizen, and so he's
at 12. You know.
But he loves coming back here. You know, this is for him. It's his highlight. He absolutely loves it. So
and I saw a picture of Xavier on a tractor at Grandpa's.
Absolutely, and that's the sort of
can't
thing.
do that in UAE.
No, you can't.
No.
Well, yeah, maybe not, but you possibly could. But it might be your camel.
Camel and sand. Camel and sand.
Absolutely.
So, Leanne, how long since? So you're back here at the moment, but how long since you were here last time? And what changes have you seen in our communities and in our area?
Yeah, I come back maybe every year and a half, and every time I come back I see growth and I see new businesses forming down the high street. And it's really lovely because you can see if someone's come along and exposed something beautiful that was already there. For example, we're just chatting about the Art Deco influence in the high
decor
street
room across the road.
Yeah, I grew up here. I didn't realise it was all Art Deco, and I went, oh, and it is. It's actually becoming aware of what's right in front of you.
Yeah,
it's a
walk down the street, look up,
look around a little bit more. And these are the sort of places that intrepid travellers like to go and find somewhere else and say, oh, look at me, I did this and I found this. And if you're into your art history, it's actually, there's a lot here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are coming here for genealogy, so, you know, family connections with the area. I'm a first generation Australian, so there's not much point in me doing much genealogy around here. But the community, you see it changing over time. And a lot of people who have got connections are coming back. So, you know, as I've said a number of times, when I was at high school, I'm not coming back here, no way, not happening. I'm back, and I'm really passionate and proud of the community that we are in.
Yeah.
So the Maryborough, Denali, Carrisbrook, Avoca, Talbot, you know, that whole district.
Quite rightly too, because there's so many lovely things happening here now. You know, the markets that go on, and the bakeries. Yeah. Get me started. We just had a chat about the bakery. I need to hold back a bit now. I think I've overdone it, but they're phenomenal.
No. It's classic
Holiday.
stuff. Classic stuff. It's holidays there. Definitely.
Yeah. And it's been lovely bumping into you as well, because I think you're doing great things for the community too. And I think
it's just about being here, living here, and giving that bit extra.
Yeah.
Rather than just being a standard real estate agent, I want to show off all the amazing things and why people come here.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody wants parking meters and lots of traffic lights and, you know, lots of nightclubs, we don't have that. But we've got some other fantastic stuff that's worth coming.
I think you're a great asset to the town.
Thank you.
She's not paying me, honestly.
I know, I haven't paid her yet. She even bought the coffee this morning. Wow.
But it's worth having a chat. It's actually worth coming and talking to someone who's here, especially someone who's gone and come back.
Yeah.
I think it's well worth it.
Is there anything that you've seen around, you know, from this visit that you think, oh, it's still missing something?
That's a very big question. I think maybe you just have to think about what you're looking for yourself. And if it's not here, why not create it? I think that's maybe a different mindset.
Yeah.
You know, if you're missing your favourite whatever it is, then go make it.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult anymore. It's very easy to create your own website these days and, you know, create your own community of whatever's not here. Everyone's done this at some point in this town.
We're not reinventing anything really.
No. You think back and think about, I can remember when there was, you know, we played badminton in an old tin shed, but one day someone said, we need badminton, and so they built something, and then something else grew from that, and then all of a sudden you've got a sports community. So if it's not here, make it
happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. So I would love to thank Leanne, and I think we might even catch up next time she's back as well, just to see if you've noticed any changes in our community. And it is, you know, maybe the start of something, people coming back to the area and sitting down and having a bit of a chat. Yeah,
absolutely. And spreading the word that there's more to Victoria than just the hot spots. Yeah. You know, this can be another hot spot for people for different reasons.
Just before we go, because Xavier is at that beautiful 12 years old, so he's come from young and he's coming out here and visiting. What sort of things has he spoken about as to why it's one of his, you know, favourite go-to places in the world?
Yeah, I think after living in urban environments, I think coming out here and seeing him in nature alone, that itself, I've never seen that child sleep so well. I think it's honestly pure fresh air has done him the world of good. There's been no devices, there's been no, Fortnite, nothing like that. There hasn't been that draw to go and sit down and be like a little gargoyle on his little iPad. Nothing. He's been outside almost every day. That is a very powerful tool for a child.
Yeah. And just quickly, one of the other things you said last week, you sat down with your mum and basically everything on the plate was organic, but it didn't have a label on it saying organic.
That was our childhood food, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, everything was grown, and it's funny how you, again, going and seeking things that with a label on it was already there in the first place. Everything's here, and you just, change your mindset and the way you're looking at things. Actually, there's a lot of positivity.
And there's usually spaces in the properties that people might move into in our areas to actually have a bit of a veggie garden. So you can have your pumpkins and you can have your herbs and everything at the back door.
Yeah. Got a lovely climate here to grow things. It's
Yeah.
great. After living in the desert for 9 years, it's pretty positive here in terms of that kind of thing. Definitely.
Yeah. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, that's all for Real Estate with Kate today. Thank you so much, Leanne, and we look forward to showcasing all of our community through all of my videos in the future. Have an excellent day and take care.